Welcome dear children to Standard 5 EVS 1. Today we will study chapter number 21, Busy at Work, Our Internal Organs. The learning objectives for this session are to study respiration, digestion and how the energy for the body is produced, to study about circulation of the blood and the nervous system, and we shall study about other systems in the body like the skeletal system and the excretory system. Let us observe this image of a car. We see that car has many systems and it has many parts. But all the parts work in synchronization for the car to move in a perfect smooth way. Similarly, we have our body. In our body there are various organ systems and organs. And all these organ systems and organs work in perfect synchronization for our body to survive. The first system that we will be learning about is respiration or the respiratory system. Let us take a look at the respiratory system. It has many parts. We need air, water and food to live. It is necessary for the body to get a continuous supply of oxygen. We get this oxygen from air through breathing. That is why we breathe continuously. In our body, there are organs that carry out the work of respiration. And let us look at the organs. So we have the nose over here. We have the trachea, that is the windpipe. Then we have the lungs, okay, and we have the diaphragm. These are the organs of respiratory system. When we exhale, when we inhale, the air goes into trachea through the branches into the lungs, and it is further divided into smaller and smaller branches. If we can look over here, we see that the trachea branches into more smaller branches, and at the end of the last branch there are air sacs which are called as alveoli. So these are the air sacs which are called as alveoli. Between the thoracic cavity and abdominal cage there is an organ like a flexible sheet. This is the organ. This is like a flexible sheet. It is called as a diaphragm. Let us take a look at the diaphragm and its movement. Here we have a diaphragm. We know that diaphragm is situated between the thoracic cavity, that is the upper half of the body, and the abdomen, that is the middle part of our body. So when we breathe, the diaphragm moves down. That is when we breathe and the air fills the alveoli in the lungs. And when the diaphragm moves upward, that is when the air is pushed out and we exhale. Let us look at how exchange of gases takes place. When the outside air reaches the alveoli, the oxygen it passes into thin blood vessels through alveoli. So when the outside blood reaches, we see that we inhale oxygen and the oxygen is passed into the blood. With the blood, it is carried to all parts of the body. So blood is carried to all parts in the body from here. At the same time, carbon dioxide that is bought. So when the blood enters, it brings carbon dioxide that is absorbed. Okay, and we exhale carbon dioxide also is given out in the air. In this way, exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide gases takes place in alveoli. You know that our air is very polluted and there are a lot of dust and smoke particles that are present in air. So these might, and there are also disease producing microorganisms, and these are very harmful for our body. So because of that, the inner lining of the respiratory organs have fine hair-like structures called cilia. So over here you can see that we have fine hair-like structures that are called as cilia. And there is a layer of sticky substance, that is the mucus. So this is the layer, sticky layer, that is the mucus. So the dust and smoke particles stick to this mucus. So they are stuck to this mucus and they do not go into our lungs, and they do not, settle in our lungs and harm us. Thus the harmful substances in the air cannot reach our lungs. Lungs are a very important part of our body since they provide oxygen to our body. But smoking harms our lungs. If one keeps smoking over a long period of time, the toxic substances in the smoke are collected in the respiratory system or tract. As a result, the air that enters the lung is not sufficiently purified and the impurities in the air begin to accumulate in the lung. So over here you can see that the lung has become quite dark because all the impurities are accumulated in the lung. As a result, the efficiency of the lung is reduced. The likelihood of getting diseases of lung increases, and then you can get stuff like cancer, okay, because of smoking. So you can see the difference between a healthy lung and a lungs of a person who smokes. Let us observe this image. We can see that one person is smoking and there is another person behind her. So even if the person that is not smoking inhales the air that comes out from the person who smokes, and this is called as passive smoking, that is breathing in other people's tobacco smoke. Even if you are not smoking, same health problems are observed in people who passive smoke, and hence that is why there is a ban on smoking in public places. Let us study the digestive system. The digestive system is divided into two parts, the alimentary canal and the digestive organs. Let us learn about alimentary canal. The food that we eat is digested in our body. That is, substances that can mix with the blood are formed from the food. This process takes place in different parts of a long and flexible tube in our body. This is the long and the flexible tube in the body. This tube is called as the alimentary canal. The upper end of the tube is the mouth and the lower end of the tube is the anus. Even if there is continuous tube going from mouth to the anus, the shape of this tube is not the same in all parts. The different parts of alimentary canal have different structures and functions. The different parts are called the digestive organs. Certain glands outside the alimentary canal assists the process of digestion. Let us look at the digestive organs. The process of digestion begins as soon as the food is taken into mouth. The teeth, tongue and saliva all help to convert food into a soft moist ball called a bolus, which is easy to swallow. The bolus passes through the esophagus into the stomach. This is the esophagus. The stomach is shaped like a bag. Here the food is churned. So there is another organ, that is the stomach. The digestive juices in the stomach bring about some digestive process. At the same time, some disease producing germs in the food are also destroyed. The food changes into a thin slurry in the stomach, then it passes into small intestine. This is the small intestine. The small intestine of an adult is about 7 meters long. The digestive juices in the intestine bring about several digestive processes. The secretion of some glands also help the process of digestion. As a result of all the digestive processes, certain substances are produced. These are useful for the body and can mix with the blood. In small intestine, they are absorbed into the blood. The remaining substance is passed into the large intestine. So this is the large intestine. The large intestine of an adult is about 1.5 meters long. Here, much of the water in the remaining substance is absorbed into the body and stools are formed. The stool is collected into the rectum after some time. Later, they are expelled from the body through the anus. So, this is the anus of the body, this is the rectum. So, how do we get the energy for the body? As a result of respiration, oxygen enters the blood in the body and spreads to all parts of body. So over here, oxygen enters through respiration and it mixes with the blood. Substances formed in the process of digestion also mix with blood. So food, plant is one type of food that we eat, and the substances that are formed after digestion mix with the blood. So over here you can see that substances form mix with the blood, oxygen plus sugar. Of these, some substances act as fuel for the body. When the oxygen in the blood reaches different parts of the body, it helps the slow burning of these substances. So here the slow body, here you can see it produces, so slow burning of the oxygen of the substance is taken with the place with the help of oxygen, and we get energy, water and carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is exhaled out of the system. The body uses energy to carry out all its tasks. Let us learn about the circulation of blood. The blood carries the oxygen obtained from the air and the energy giving substances in our food to all parts of the body. You know that heart continually contracts and relaxes for this purpose. A network that consists of tubes or vessels that carry blood away from the heart and those that bring blood back to the heart is spread throughout the body. You can see how it is spread throughout the body. The process of keeping the blood flowing through the parts of the body is called as blood circulation. Apart from oxygen, blood carries innumerable other substances from one part of the body to the another all the time. That too is made possible by the circulation of blood. The heart and the network of blood vessels together form the circulatory system. As long as we are alive, the process of blood circulation goes on continuously day and night. The functions of respiratory, circulatory and digestive systems are vital for the body and they are carried out ceaselessly. We have learned that coordination means paying attention to different functions and ensuring that they all occur at the right time and the right manner. This coordination is maintained by a network that connects the brain and different parts of the body, which is called as the nervous system. There is a nervous network of nerves that carry messages to and fro between the brains and the parts of the body. The brain and the network of nerves are called as the nervous system, and the nervous system functions to coordinate all the bodily functions. So over here in this image you can see that various tasks of nervous system, they allow brain and spinal cord to receive messages and send information to other areas of the body. They carry sensory and motor information. Drinking alcohol has many ill effects on the body. It affects the nervous system, leading to loss of control over the movements of the body and lack of coordination. That is why it is dangerous to drive after drinking alcohol. If one keeps drinking alcohol for a long period of time, it causes ulcers on the inner lining of the digestive organs. It can also seriously affect the functions of livers and kidney. Given are the few effects of alcohol on the body, like increased heart rate and blood pressure, stress on kidneys, blood flow rapid, is increased, vomiting, liver damage, etc. We have learned something about respiratory system, digestive system, circulatory system, and the system that coordinates the function of all, the nervous system. Besides these, there are several other systems in a body. For example, the skeletal system. Skeletal system gives us support and shape to the body and protects important organs inside it. The excretory system helps to expel the waste substances that are formed in the body. So over here we have an excretory system which helps to expel urine from our body or the wastewater. Now working of all the systems that we studied is extremely complex, but it is very important for us to know about it. And if the function of any one of our system is disturbed, it affects all the other systems in the body also. We are at the end of the session. Let us have a quick recap about what we studied. We studied about respiration and the respiratory system. We studied about digestion and the digestive system, that is the alimentary canal and digestive organs. Then we studied about how the energy is produced in the body. We studied about the circulation of blood, the nervous system, and the other systems in our body, that is the skeletal system and the excretory system. Homework. You are going to make a model of digestive system using recycled waste from your home. Thank you and have a good day.